Yo, yo, yo. What is up, artists and art fans? Thank you guys for tuning into the spot where we talk to all your favorite Instagram artists about the trade, the tools, and of course, the tips, guys. I'm your host, Zim, and you guys are on Chatting with Zim. This is episode number 97. That's right, man. I know I say it every week, but the big 9-7, you know what I'm saying? We're getting close. And of course, bam, the staple. There we go. Tonight's guest is, well, some of you guys know her. Some of you guys don't. If you guys been following the stories, and hopefully y'all should have been following the stories. You know what I'm saying? But we got, hopefully I don't butcher her last name. We got Alyssa McLaughin, aka Shades of Alyssa. So prepare for her to come in, and she should be here any moment. But before we get into the show, just want to say that first off, shout out to Monsters Art Clan. Make sure you guys are following. Check them out. Check us out. Check me out. All part of the Monsters Art Clan fam here on the gram. Ooh, that kind of rhymed. You guys could also check out the .com. Of course, we have the .com. And also, talking about .coms, chatting, or not chatting with Zim, therealzimzimma.com. The shop is officially open once again. So go there, get all your great prints and stickers and merch stuff, you know. Got some guys for joining. Wanted to just clear up the room a little, not clear it up, but have you guys join in. So I see Puck Stickers, Jay Corba, Arielis, hopefully I'm saying it right, Notorious Pez in the house, King Ganga, we got Neon Haze, and of course, there she is, the myth, the legend, Shades of Alyssa. Let's get her on really quick. There we go. Let me go ahead and tap the request. We join while she joins up and beams up into the mothership. Make sure you guys are checking out Chatting with Zim on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, and all that good jazz. And yeah, let's get into the show. Shades of Alyssa. Alyssa, what's going on? You hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great. Thanks for having me on. I'm honored to be here, man.
Nah, man. Thanks for being on. Thanks for wanting to come in and joining my ugly mug for a while. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a good time.
Okay. Delanu says my audio sounds better without the headset. Oh, never mind, he says. All right, cool. We're in. So, Alyssa, how's your Sunday going? How's the week been?
It's good. I've been out of town since Friday morning, so hanging out back at my hometown in St. Louis, taking a little mini break and vacation. So it's been good.
Oh, dope. Dope. That's what's up. I'm
Yeah,
digging that. How's the fam?
good, good. I mean, not a whole lot to do with COVID and everything still, but it's nice to get away from Kansas City, come back here, hang out, chill, be with different people, you know?
No, word. And once again, I wanted to just go ahead and thank you again, Alyssa, for showing up, man. Some good shit. If you guys don't know, follow Shades of Alyssa, one word, as it sounds. Alyssa spelled Alyssa for all you guys that don't know how to spell. And you know, and thank you once again for everyone joining in. Thank you, it means a lot.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you guys hanging out.
So, Alyssa, you know how we do it here on Chatting with Zim. I love hearing all the origins of, you know, what got you into art. You know, what made up Alyssa. You know, why are you the way you are as an artist? So, you guys take it away.
All right. Well, those of you who really know me know that I stick with traditional work most of the time, and that's like my roots, my foundation. Um, Man, I mean, as a kid, I was always drawn to wanting paper and crayons and markers and stuff like that, as opposed to like Legos or building or dolls and stuff. Um, so I think it was always in me to want to do the art thing. But I would say it probably wasn't until like middle school when I started to realize that I might actually have a skill for this.
Mm,
Um, because I had a friend who was super good at it, like so talented for, 12, 13 years old. And I was like, well, hey, I like to do that too. And she was like, well, you should draw with me. and she started teaching me some of her foundational skills and basics because she was, pretty wicked good for her age. And she just kind of influenced that a lot in me. And I would do it on and off, through high
Mm-hmm.
school. But unfortunately, when I was in high school, I had to choose between either art or band. So
Oh, okay.
I went the band route for a little while. Did the music thing, which was cool. I don't regret it. I love doing it, but I wish it would have taken some art. Um, but ultimately, what kind of brought me back to really becoming invested in it post high school was my now husband. Told him I liked to do it when we first started hanging out and we're together, and I was like, "Oh, I used to paint. I love to paint." And he's all like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so then on one of our first Valentines, his gift to me was canvas, paint, paintbrushes, like the whole
Ooh.
set. Yes, he like opened the door and now he's like sucked me into the black hole because that pretty much just set the precedent for me wanting to pursue it more seriously. So,
No, that's dope. Man, well, what a gift. Thank you, husband.
yeah.
And I shout out to the husband. You said you went the band route. That's pretty interesting. Just a
Yeah.
quick touch up on that. Is that something that you still do on the side as opposed to art? You still play an instrument?
Um, so no, I don't really play anymore. I played the clarinet. I haven't
Mm,
touched that probably since I graduated high school. But my dad's a percussionist, so
dope.
sometimes I'll try and get on the drums and play a little bit when I'm in town visiting. Sometimes, not all the time, but he uh, he's shown me some of his stuff. So if I do music, like play it at least, I'd like to go back down the percussion route because I feel like that's what I really wanted to do. But I will say that music is still a huge influence in my life. Like sitting down drawing, I gotta have the right playlist.
Yeah. No, for sure. And you know what? That's kind of nice little segue to let's get into just a quick fast blast, as I say. Uh, just give me some of your favorites. I'm gonna ask you, and you let me know. So, favorite music. We'll start with that.
Oh, okay. Muse, um, hands down favorite band. I can listen to them all the time. I love them. But I will say when I draw, I go to like Japanese lo-fi vibe.
Mm, all right, that's nice. Favorite food.
Uh, prepare chicken anyway. I'll pretty much eat it.
Dope. I like that. Chicken's good. Chicken's great. Uh, favorite car if you have one.
Okay, my husband will be so excited for this. He's super big into the JDM market, okay?
Oh yeah, word.
And therefore I have gotten into the JDM market as well. So my dream car would be a 1970 Datsun.
Ooh, 70s Datsun.
Yes.
That's cool. What color?
Green.
Green. Hell yeah. That's cool, man. You guys are into that JDM stuff. I used to do a little bit of racing, illegally here and there. I had a CRX, so
Okay.
yeah, that was awesome,
Yeah.
man. That was fun.
Yeah, he's working on a S13
Oh shit.
Sylvia. He's
Yeah,
building it, and the goal one day is to take it to some drift events and stuff.
sweet. I'm just gonna go out there and say it. I'm hoping you guys already know, but there's an anime, Initial D.
Yes, yep,
Yes, yes. There you go, little Tim. You the man. You the
yeah.
man, brother. Yeah, cool, man. So yeah, check that out. That's fucking badass. One of my favorites. Um, do you have a favorite comic series, or are you into comics?
So actually, I haven't really dived into the comic world, but my favorite graphic novel has been The Search, which is from the Avatar series. So I'm starting to get into the world of graphic novels.
Sweet. Hey, that's a great world to be in. Favorite artist. This could be dead or alive. Doesn't matter. Favorite artist.
Ooh, man, that's a tough one for me. Um, so like this might sound like so cliche, but I really like Andy Warhol.
Okay.
Like his work is just it's kind of no different than what a lot of fan artists do today
Mm-hmm.
and just take their interpretation of what's popular and current and putting it in their own versions. I mean, like I feel like a lot of what he does is still pretty relevant to today. Not that any other artist's work isn't, but it's bizarre and funky, but I think about that's exactly what new school is. You
Yeah.
know, it's just what you're applying it to.
Yeah, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know that some of these artists, they want to try to get away from using fan art and using the term pop art, which I think has a better fit,
Yeah.
and Warhol the pop art all day, you know?
Yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, that's dope. Great choice. Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know. Because I have been to some experiences that were supposed to be paranormal, but I can't say that I ever experienced anything paranormal, but I was open to, like
Mm-hmm.
into the possibility.
Okay. And you believe in UFOs?
Yes.
Well, I guess you kind of half answered it, but I was going to ask, have you seen one or the other?
Have I seen what?
One or the other.
Oh, no. I have not even seen, yeah, UFO, but I know that space is pretty big and you can't tell me that there's nothing else out there.
For sure. Hell yeah, there you go. I like that. And last off, if you were an element, one of the four elements, earth, wind, water, or fire. And I know you like the Airbender series, so
I do. I would definitely be an earthbender.
earth.
Probably specifically metal.
Oh shit. Nice. I like
Yeah,
that.
yes.
I dig that. And there you go. Just like that, we got a little bit more uh, character into Shades of Alyssa. That's what's up. Before we go any further, is can we find you on any other social media anywhere else besides here on the gram?
I am slowly warming up to the idea of trying to post regularly on TikTok.
Mm, okay,
It takes a lot to do videos for me, and this might make me sound old, but I just don't know my way around TikTok when it comes to like making videos. So I've kind of got a little learning to do.
okay. And
But
that would same handle, Shades of Alyssa.
yes.
Okay.
And then hopefully, a long-term goal is to get on YouTube. So
Oh, nice. Hell yeah, that's dope. And by getting on YouTube, what kind of plans do you have for that?
I think I would like to do like a art kind of dump safe place for people to come and just watch other people draw and maybe learn tips and techniques along the way. And it just almost like a live session regularly where I post. You know how you can watch those like musics where it's just like certain hertz and you just listen to the
Mm-hmm.
same kind of thing. I want to create something like that for people to come like hang out and draw with maybe some other people, and I plan on teaming up with a friend of mine who writes music, um, and he wants to pair some of his music with my art videos for like people to just come listen to some chill music and draw or write or study, whatever it would be.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. And yeah, whenever you get that going, hit me up and we'll have you back on. We'll talk about it and promote some more. So
Definitely, for sure. That's long term, so hopefully within the next year to year and a half, I'd like to be able to start doing that.
for sure, hell yeah. And for all you guys, or guys and gals, everybody tuning in, thank you guys once again. We are with Shades of Alyssa. You guys can find her here. And of course, TikTok, like she mentioned. So there you go. If you guys also have been following my stories, then you guys been seeing some of her work throughout the whole week. And let's get into that, Alyssa. Let's get into some of your work. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm gonna go ahead and just there we go, and show you guys. But it's oh man, my bad about that. Got a little piece of tape back there. There's a lot of anime, a lot of pop involved here. Um, yeah, let us know more about some of the art here. I know this was a big one for a mutual friend of ours.
Yes,
This one came out sick. Great
thank
job on
you.
that.
But that one was interesting because I was struggling with if I wanted to do that digitally or traditionally. Um, and I started it digitally, and was kind of just not really digging it. So then I was like, maybe I need to go back to traditional for this because I've been working hard on my marker blends and stuff, and actually ended up having a really good time doing her. Just finished the series maybe several weeks ago now for the first time. And man, I was not ready, but it was a kick-ass show. Like, it was so good. I was so impressed. I'm pretty new to the anime world, so I'm slowly stepping into that. So doing other pieces outside of like DBZ or Avatar is kind of becoming a challenge for me, and I like it.
Awesome. Look at that, man. It's just nothing but great stuff here, y'all.
Yes,
So,
I love Ahsoka.
Shades of Alyssa. Make sure you guys are going to give her a follow. Don't ask any questions. Just trust us in, man. Go and follow. You guys won't regret it.
Yes, I'm thinking about posting to my story here in the next day or two of, I'd like to long term get into making a graphic novel. I've got um sort of a semi premise for a story. And then now it's just kind of really learning how to piece together um picture and words so that it flows well into a graphic novel. And that's why I've been reading a lot of graphic novels lately to kind of help me learn like styles and formats and different ways artists are approaching it, as well as learning some different art styles and you know how are they approaching anatomy versus how is this artist approaching anatomy.
Hmm.
So, long term, I would like to start posting a mini comic series, kind of off into the Avatar world of maybe the next Avatar in the cycle, and like my perspective of what the next Avatar in the cycle would be, just to start getting familiar with how to draw little strips
Hmm.
of a scene and you know designs and elements and carrying a story, that kind of thing.
Dope. Hell yeah, that sounds like a plan. Any current projects you're working on now that we you might have in the works that we don't know about?
In the works that you don't know about. Well, I did just post my story today of an in progress piece of Cora that I'm doing, and I'm taking a little bit different approach with this one. And I'm hoping that a lot of you anime fans will appreciate the approach that I'm taking to this, using Art Germ as inspiration for this piece. Like the way he approaches work, kind of taking a lot of that and applying it to this piece. So I'm pretty excited for that. It's big too, so I'm excited to work a little bit bigger.
Oh, dope.
Um, I don't know yet. I've kind of been letting pieces come to me. There's a little piece that's going to be a mystery ink.
Mm,
Um, so I can't really discuss too much about it, but all I will say is I hope that it turns out pretty rad once it gets paired with Benson's coloring. So
word. Yeah, that's gonna be dope. I love that Mr. Ink. I told Mr. B there to, hey man, let me participate as well. So
yeah,
yeah, heck yeah, that's awesome, Alyssa. Can't wait.
yes,
Can't
I'm
wait.
excited.
Everyone's been knocking it out of the park, so on both ends, you know what I mean? So it's awesome
Definitely.
for sure. B, what motivates you, or what keeps motivating you to keep doing art? I mean, besides some of the anime here and stuff.
Um, Really, it's just something that I'm so proud to like be able to do and say like, yes, like people can look at that and be like, wow, that's so cool. Like I like that, I want that, or that makes me happy or excited or whatever it may be. It just, I love creating a piece and being able to look at it and be like, look at the progress that I've made from this transition to this transition. Um, when I first started this journey of trying to take it more seriously and really wanting to become a professional artist, um, I found very quickly how much further I needed to go to really start playing up there with some of the big dogs per se. And I'm one of those people that can be pretty impatient and I just want progress quick. And I
Mm-hmm.
would say a lot of artists like that they want, results
Mm-hmm.
fairly soon. So I think I was just struggling with needing to push pieces out all the time and feeling like I wasn't making any progress. And then I finally realized part of this is about experiencing the journey, and part of this is about experiencing the progress. And I need to
Mm-hmm.
slow down and I need to appreciate the progress that I'm making and not just be so ready to jump to the next thing. I'm always to the point where I'm not able to be like, yes, I understand where I came from to where I am.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good, and I think that's a big realization, especially for artists that like want to take it to that next level, because it does take patience, it does take practice, and I like once again I spoke to many artists where we pretty much kind of feel the same way, where this generation now everything is so quick, everything is
Definitely.
like I want this, I want that fast gratification, and it can't happen. Not with art. Not with art.
No,
You know what I
no.
mean?
Especially when you're competing in Instagram where everything's like 24-hour, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and
Yeah.
social media makes it hard to keep something interesting for over several days or weeks.
Cool. Cool. And talking about art, yeah, you mentioned you're not just traditional, but also digital. How's that transition been for you?
Ooh, that is like a love-hate relationship. I uh I applaud the people that can do it and that's their like main thing, like Ivan, and really I mean even Omar's been pushing digital mostly. He's starting to really make that transition to be more of a full-time digital artist and it's showing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it it's the effects that you can achieve, the access to the tools that you have, it's incredible. Like it's amazing that I can just have access to all these different kinds of brushes and colors and palettes and stuff like that. But man, there's a lot of shortcuts that I'm just not aware of, as well as there's a lot of things about some of these tools that I'm just not aware of yet that I'm slowly learning. So it's definitely taking me time and it totally feels different. But I don't want to give up on it because I think, as time goes, I'll definitely start to get more productive results. But right now, it's definitely still in its early learning
No.
stages.
Word, word. And Pez says he says be nice to Alyssa. You might be working for her in the near future. I'll be nice. I'll definitely be nice. I'll be calling you boss one day.
I'll pay well, man. I'll pay well.
There you go. I like to hear that. Um, so being that you're into a bunch of anime and stuff like this, um, what kind of like superpower or quirk would you like to have?
I always end up going back to like telekinesis
Oh, that's a good one.
because I don't know, I think about being able to like do things with your mind, especially because we just finished watching WandaVision.
Mm,
So, like, that's kind of got me super intrigued right now. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like super strength and super speed. Not that they aren't very useful, just a lot of people say them. So I'm always like, what's a power that a lot of people don't think about that could still be pretty useful? So,
damn. Telekinesis with some metal bending.
oh yeah, I know that'd be sick. Watch out.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous. That sounds some cool ass powers for a character. You know what I mean? Says passes I do hear a little pug barking around. What up, young pup? What up, I guess. I don't know what he's talking about. But
No,
that's
I have
cool.
a dog, but not a pug.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Is there any mediums as an artist that you would like to try besides digital or markers?
Yes. So I really want to get into airbrush.
Oh, nice.
I'd like to learn a little more bright graffiti street art style. Um, I think it would be really interesting, but it's going to take a lot of learning how to control the how to control the airbrush because that's hard for me. But also watercolor. I definitely want to get
Mm.
into watercolor. Um, I've done oils and acrylics. I used to do acrylic pretty regularly. But yeah, airbrush for sure. I mean, another dream of mine would totally be to, and I always beg my husband that when he gets his car ready to go, um, I want to do like auto body painting. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
damn. That'll be sick.
yeah, I would love to get
Yeah.
into something like that.
Wow. Auto body painting. I dig that. I kind of wanted to go that route, low key. I wanted to go that route when I was younger. When I first got into cars, I had just came off from like doing graffiti and stuff, and that's what I wanted to get into. I had a few friends at work that were like side hustling on body shops and doing that, and I was like, man, that's money right there. So
Right?
that's dope. That's dope, Alyssa. Hopefully you do get into that someday, and I can't wait. Hopefully I'm still
Yeah.
alive to see that.
Yes. No. It's gonna happen in the future. I know it will. I'm gonna make it work.
That's dope. You know what? And I'll talk later about it. But I think I might have some old airbrushes somewhere sitting around. But we'll discuss that after the show.
Yeah.
You know what
Sounds
I mean?
good.
Sweet. Right now we're close to hitting that half hour mark. Let's actually get into a segment called Josh's Tools. If you have any of your tools ready,
I
any inks, pens.
I have just a small little bit that I brought with me when I travel. I typically don't bring a whole lot when I travel just because markers are so fun to transport.
Oh yeah. So
But when I like to do a little bit of sketching in my travel time, I always bring tone tan paper,
nice.
um, preferably little sketchbooks because I like to do just small little face sketches. Um, and then for working, I'm pretty simple when it comes to my sketch work. It's when I get into my colors that it starts to get complex of all the different things that I have. But pretty much I work with these three things: mechanical pencil, pencil eraser, and then non-photo pencil blue for shading more or less, figuring out where I want my shadows and stuff.
Mm.
So
Dope, dope. Is there anything that you tried out and just don't recommend or didn't like?
um so I don't remember the name of the brand. It was pretty new to me, but it was a white like a white brush pen,
Hmm.
where you could push like squeeze the white ink out, and it was supposed to help you just do like those white highlights and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
It's like about this long though,
Holy
so
crap.
yeah, it was huge, but it didn't the bubbles there the holes at the top to help release the air. The ink would just flood to that and like fill up with bubbles and then just spill out all over your paper, so it wouldn't even make it to the brush. So
Oh, that
definitely,
sucks.
I have to look up the name of the brand again, but there was like no reviews on it when I purchased it, so I guess I just really didn't know much about it.
Damn. Yeah, that's yeah, if you ever drop on the name, man, just feel free to go ahead and DM it to me. I would love to see this what you're talking about. Sounds
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Nothing
because
I
I
would use, but
yeah, well, because I always struggle with finding a white something to use to do like white for highlights and stuff like that. That wouldn't be like because the jelly roll pens, like I like those, but sometimes they create that like layered ridge. I don't know that I always want. I don't know. I like smooth, clean pieces. Um, so I was trying to find something, but I do like the Posca
mm,
markers. those are nice. So
I,
I
and
definitely go to those.
and anybody who anybody who knows me, you guys know what I'm gonna pull out next. And no, it's not that, you dirty guys. But there we go. We got
Yeah.
the Uniball Signa. So
Okay.
this here, Alyssa, is
Yes.
this is gold, man. It sucks. I'll send you a picture of this as well. But this is
Okay.
something very great, especially when you're writing or highlighting over alcohol markers. It works really good.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Cool.
yeah, yeah, and these man, night and day difference between the Jelly Roll, and this is something I recommend for any artist wanting to do the highlights without having any of that, where it kind of like seeps through and stuff. The only thing I recommend is make sure your piece is dry when you're adding this. If not, it will absorb it. But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Good to
man,
know.
yeah, Signal Uniball. So sick. You guys could find them at Michael's and all that good stuff.
So, have you ever worked with pastel?
I know. Yes, yes. I worked with a couple, but I don't really like it. I never really got into it.
So, like, I have this like mini confession where like I love working with pastels, but the only pastels that I like to work with are actually the Crayola ones, the Crayola oil
Mm,
pastels. I just feel like they're the softest. They're super waxy, but I just feel like they're the softest and easiest to blend with. And I know that I probably don't have a lot of experience in any other pastels, but everything else that I've tried has been too chalky. So, like, I will
hmm
honestly totally vouch for Crayola oil pastels because it's super bright and I would use them on canvas a lot.
mm. And shout out to Crayola. A lot of my watercolor pieces are from the Crayola Walgreens eight palette colors. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Shout out Crayola. Go sponsor us, or at least
Yeah.
sponsor her. You know what I mean? And we're not really taking questions at the time, but the mentor and homie Pez here asked a pretty good question, which
Oh,
kind of
okay. What's
relates.
up?
So,
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard do you punch the wall when man, when the Copic, I've had that happen several times recently. And it's because when I went to refill the Copic, I overfilled it. So it was really on me. Um, which makes me even more mad because I'm like, damn, I knew I put too much in there. Um, like, man,
it's like shit.
it depends on how far I am in the picture too, because like there have been times where I'm like at the beginning of the picture and it'll leak. And then I'm like, no, I'll just like retrace it and do it again. Because my drawing process is a sketch, then I use a light box and I transfer to my Bristol paper.
Okay.
Because I'm a pretty messy sketcher. Um, so I keep my original sketch so that if I do have things like ink drops and bleeds and stuff like that, I can decide to redo the picture if I wanted to, but only if I'm in the early stages of coloring. If I've gotten through quite a bit of ink already and I've colored quite a bit of the picture, I will now start over and I just try to correct the mistake as much as possible.
Mm.
Um, Depends on, colors, where it's at, but yeah, I get pretty frustrated and most of the time if I'm able to, I will scrap it and do it again.
And what scale would you rate putting your actual head through the wall? So that one's for Pez. So that's a
7,
question for Pez.
7.
That's a 7. Holy shit.
7.
That's I mean, like I said, I'm new to the whole digital, and that's one of the perks for going
Yeah,
digital, yeah. So
it
definitely.
is.
Um, what other skills or things do you like to do when you're not drawing? You know what I mean?
Um, so I've actually just recently gotten into doing a little more gaming. Um, Super into the Halo video
Mm,
games. Also thanks to my husband. He plays them pretty religiously, so after just watching him play, I would start to get story, and then I'd be like, oh, I think I kind of want to try, and then I would play a little bit, and now we're like we co-op all the time, and we play all the time, and so I love playing Halo. That's a big one for me. Um, Other than that, I mean, I kind of just like listening to music, finding new music. Um, anything that kind of keeps me inspired or thinking creatively up here, I'm very much into. Um, so I like an environment that has some kind of music going on in the background. I just feel like it's stimulating, something that allows me to get lost in my thoughts so that I can produce something because I often spend time listening to music and then trying to think of scenarios for my graphic novel and then put it down on paper. So
Cool. Dope. That's dope. Um, do you take commissions?
I do. I do
Okay.
take commissions. Um, I am getting inquired about some avatar commissions currently, so I hope that I get to do those because they want um, Mako and Bolin, and I just did some Mako and Bolin, so I feel like I could do another pretty rad piece with the both of them together. So, but I'm willing, I'm open to do all different kinds of commissions, and it doesn't have to be just Avatar, but I know that that's typically what I draw a lot of because that's what I like, and it's kind of in right now, the Avatar games, so
Oh, word. Um, by any chance, do you have any commission horror stories? Anything that maybe didn't go smoothly for you,
um,
as far as like clients and stuff? You know, maybe super
it
picky
wasn't,
clients or something. I don't know.
no, I've never really had anything like that yet. Um, but I will say that I am getting my one most regular client. He's a friend of mine, but my most regular client that commissions me is often commissioning me for stuff for his band, like name, artist name, and logo. And
Okay.
it's totally cool, and I'm happy to do it, and I love doing it because I appreciate that he is supporting me. But like logo design is hard for me because it's not exactly what I do regularly. But his work forces me to think like that, so I get the challenge from it, and I do like doing it. But he wanted like his piece to look like neon signage,
Hmm.
that you would see at like a bar or something. And I was like, okay, I think I can manage something like that. But I did it traditionally. So I had to really think outside the box. How do I create something that looks still like electric with traditional materials? So I wouldn't say like horror story or anything like that, but super challenging and
Okay.
got me thinking in ways that I'm not used to, which is a good thing, I think.
No word. And yeah, neon signs can be tricky. So yeah, definitely. But once you nail that effect, man, that looks badass, right?
Yes, it does. I was
Yeah.
able to use like color pencil and like a color pencil blender and blend and just get a nice even fade around to make it look like there was like a neon logo on all the letters. So I mean, it took some finagling and working it, but it came out really cool. And then started to realize, oh, I could probably do this stuff digitally if I really wanted to.
Mm,
So just recently produced something digitally for him. So I'd like doing work for him. I'll be curious because he also plans to hit me up for some album artwork eventually. So I'll be curious as to what ideas he's got in mind when we start thinking about stuff like that.
dope, dope. And everybody to new people tuning in and those that are tuning out, you're lost. But those who tuned in, though, we got Alyssa, Shades of Alyssa on. You guys could find her not just here on Instagram, but make sure you guys go give her a follow on the TikTok, same handle. And yeah, definitely support the journey. Pretty awesome. Great artist and from St. Louis. So I'm from Illinois, Chicago. So we're not too far off. That's pretty dope.
Chicago's like home away from home for me. I went so many times growing up. I love it.
Sweet, sweet. Um, so any what about, let's get into some of the tips for people or tips that you learn. What is specifically, let's get into the traditional going into digital. What's something that you have learned as of yet?
Biggest thing I have learned going into digital from traditional is that just because you have every single color available does not mean you need to use every single color available of that palette.
I second that. That's funny.
I'm a colorist. I like color. I'm sure you've recently seen, and anybody who's been following me for a little bit of time now has seen my transition from inking things
Hmm.
and doing line work to no longer doing that. Um, and I think I'm going to stay like that because that's just what I prefer. So I kind of got into this mentality then of like, well, since I'm not using inks, I should learn to use more colors. And, honestly, I'm really starting to figure out both traditionally, but really when I was doing digital is like, just because I have every variation of shade of this particular value doesn't mean I need to use it, you know,
Hmm.
before it starts to look muddy or muddled. So that was kind of a big learning curve for me. So stick with with what you're learning. Don't think you have to use all the colors just because they're there.
That's good. That's a good one. Uh, and just a little sidetrack on it. It kind of made me think. Shades of Alyssa. Why Shades of Alyssa?
Okay, yeah. You know, when I first started the Instagram journey, so I would say that I've really started taking this seriously in January of transitioning to 2020, like right before COVID
Hmm.
hit, because I was working at a school district and I would show my kids some of my pictures and I would show some of my parents some of my pictures and they would all be like, how come you're not like doing this for a living? And I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have an answer. So I got involved in this mentorship program to start really learning how can I push myself to do that. And I realized that all these people who are well established on Instagram have like a really interesting handle, like
Hmm.
like the real Zimzima, like that's catchy, or Notorious Pez that's catchy, Josh for Kicks that sticks out. So then I was like, okay, well, what do I do? What can I say that makes me stick out? That's not just like art by Alyssa. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then I like realized, well, I like to do color. Color is my big thing. And that's all different shades. So maybe shades of Alyssa, because I'm going to show different, pieces and progress and transitions of my work.
Sick. Hell yeah.
So,
That's a sick origin story of the name right there. That's awesome. I like that.
yeah.
That's dope. I like that. That's really really dope. Um.
Now I just got to think of a little mascot, because like I see you with your panda, which that Thor picture that you did was kick ass.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
love that, love that. But I kind of feel like I need to think of a mascot, but I don't know if I want to do like an animal. But so if people have ideas, what I could do or suggestions.
Yeah, for me, it's I've just really quick on why, not why the panda, but why an animal. For me, it was more of a, okay, I wanted to come out with something original, something that eventually can be kind of cute looking, because a lot of people like that chibi stuff. I'm trying to aim it towards, kids, teens. You know what I'm saying? That type of style. And I'm like, okay, well, I could do a human, but I like pandas. I've always liked pandas. It's my spirit animal, so to say. So, hey, I put myself in a panda suit and I'm off on all these adventures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's cool. That's rad. I like that, how that process goes. I think one will just come to me. I tend to, like my husband pointed out, he's like, well, he was like, Dominic, has like Spider-Man is kind of his thing. He's like, you do a lot of Korra. He's like, Korra could kind of be your thing. And I was like, that's true. I was like, but I kind of feel like I need to do something more original to me, not just Korra. Not that there's anything wrong with using like a Spider-Man or a Venom, but
Hmm.
something that's gonna help set me apart.
Shades of Alyssa. Yeah, I'll think of something if I ever brainstorm, because sometimes they just come like that and then they go. But if I think of something that'd be cool, I'll definitely drop it in the DM for you.
I'm all open, man.
And Live with Seven, man. I can't forget about the homie Live with Seven. Just a quick side note: make sure you guys go check him out. Go give him a follow. He's over here supporting Alyssa. He says to go follow her and give her 1,001 likes. You know what I'm saying? So for sure, shout out to the homie Live with Seven. Go follow. Check out IGTV. Sorry, Alyssa.
Oh, you're
I,
good, no.
I feel sooner or later you're gonna hear me talking and doing all these promos for like sponsorships and shit. You know?
Yes, it's coming.
Yeah, hopefully. Uh, back to tips for artists or tips in general. What's one of the greatest tips given to you, and just in art?
Um, Man, this one stuck out with me when Omar first took me under his wing and started teaching me how to use Copics to their fullest ability. I heard him say, like, I'm not chasing money, I'm chasing skill. And if you can chase skill, then the money will come.
Mm,
And that was something I needed to hear because, like, I think it's kind of normal for every young artist who's getting into wanting to take this seriously to be like, how can I make money off of it? And they don't really stop and think, well, I need to establish myself first, right? And I heard him say that, and I was like, man, that resonated with me so much. So, any person who's thinking about pursuing this full time, wants to make this a career, wants to make this a passion, go for it. Absolutely. 100%. But man, like, yes, my husband points out patience. That is a really hard thing for me to learn. And I think for anybody right now, like you said, with such instant gratification all
mhm,
the time, it's so hard to just be like, oh, good things will come to those who wait because we want things right now. But truly, if you can just keep going on your grind, learning your skills, making efforts to post, making efforts to put yourself out there, making efforts to get better up here and on paper or on a screen, whatever it might be. Um, that's when things will start coming to you because I found myself pushing myself too hard about on the Instagram thing from time to time and then would notice that I wasn't doing as well. And I think it's because I was getting in my head of not being patient that it's going to come with time. But the moment I took a step back and realized I just got to keep doing my thing and making my efforts, things started to get, better on my
mhm.
Instagram. And, Instagram's an ebb and flow and
Oh
it's
yeah,
not always be
for
how it
sure.
is. So, but it's just interesting, how much I've had to really just slow down and appreciate just being on the ride.
Yeah, that definitely enjoy the ride because it's something that I like. I like telling artists that I've talked to. It's great to go back and see all of your old work. You know what I mean? It's Instagram is like also an archive of your work, and you're definitely gonna see the progression as the years go. I've been in this for maybe 2-3 years already, and I've already had some art skill, but I definitely just coming into it more. Um, but yeah, definitely see the progression.
Yes, it's a fun journey to look at. And um, some of the stuff behind me, is art that I created, maybe early college days. So 21, 20 years old, and now I'm 27. And to think about stuff like this to now that I'm doing and how far my skills have progressed in different methods and different approaches is kind of crazy. Or like, I'm sure you've had this or any artist who's taken their time to reflect on old work. You just kind of, it's so amusing to me when I look at old work and I go, man, that looks so rough compared to what I can do now. But back then you thought that, or you were like, that piece was the bomb. That was
Oh
so
yeah.
good. Which is, you know, like I love that, but it's so funny then to look back and be like, ooh, that was a little rough. But
It's like,
it's good progress to look at.
no, word. I definitely agree. And everybody joining in, we're getting close to that top of the hour. So right now we are going to open it up with questions. If you guys have questions or any comments, please keep it polite. If not, I will ban the fuck out of you. Maybe I won't. I don't know. You know, if you slip in a 20 and you know in my DM, I might keep you around. But yeah, let's open it up. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in. We are with Shades of Alyssa. Please go give her a follow. She's an amazing artist on the rise. So keep an eye out for her. And follow her on TikTok as well. Same handle, Shades of Alyssa, one word. So we got a question. We got a question from Seven.
All right, what's up?
He is asking, what is what are some go-to foods while you're creating? Oh, that's a nice one.
Ooh, pistachios.
Oh,
They they're salty, they're good for you, you know, and they've got protein, so it's kind of a little bit more of an energy boost. So pistachios are definitely a go-to for me. But other than that, honestly, um, I tend to not like to have food around when I'm working on because I'm worried I'm going to be clumsy and touch something or spill something or anything like that. So I try to keep food and my creative space separate. But pistachios are the one thing that I will take over and snack on.
word. I dig that. Pistachios are good.
They
Hopefully
are.
hopefully you don't have to. You buy the ones with the kernels already out, cause
Yep.
I hate to be drawing and cracking that
Yep.
crap open. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, no. Let's see. We got another question. Malice Misery. Well, shout out to Malice Misery. What's going on? Make sure you give her a follow as well. It says, what background noise do you like while creating? Music, podcasts, etc.
I like to put headphones on and depending on my mood, but most of the time I tend to go to a Japanese lo-fi playlist that I've created on Spotify. Um, it's relaxing, but got some nice beats to it. So I can kind of get into my zone and do my thing. But I also there are times where I like to have on just like rain sounds, um, with maybe like a little bit of like music in the background. And then always go to for drawing instrumental stuff. So instrumental for films, TV shows, just random stuff that I find on YouTube, all that I will listen to while I draw. Anything that's going to keep my like story side of my brain flowing, stuff that helps me create stories, stuff that helps me picture what I want, what I'm drawing to look like.
Sweet. We got another legend in here, Mr. Barron himself. Have you found any new elements in art that you're exploring to incorporate into your own art?
Yes, so
Great
for
question.
lack of a better way to put it, I don't know how else to like approach this, but so like I mentioned earlier that I'm using art germ as an influence a lot for the way he approaches like kind of bust pieces and profile shots and stuff of characters. I kind of am liking the exaggerated qualities of these characters that he draws, of like the more defined muscles and, for lack of better term, like a little more sexualized in the female um, side of it. I just like the way that that style looks, and I think it's really cool. And so I'm thinking about applying a lot of that to some of the Avatar universe as well as to some of the Star Wars universe, um, and getting some more of those close-up shots. But Baron, I think you'll be excited to know that I'm going to start getting into more like scene shots and not just
Mm,
just one person. Like I'm ready to start exploring like creating a scene.
Sweet. Heck yeah. That's what's up. Uh, what is your favorite part of the art process?
Oh, that's tough. I love seeing a sketch come together.
Hmm.
Um, because your sketch is going to make or break your picture. No amount of excellent coloring is going to fix any proportional issues that you might have or things like that. Um, so I really like seeing the sketch come together, but I do love the coloring process. So I don't know. To me, there's nothing like pulling it, like taking a fresh Copic and putting it on paper and seeing those blends come together, like and watching a piece be brought to life. Yeah, I love that. So I think color. I think color would be my favorite.
Sweet. Let's see. We got another question from the homie Seven. This one's a pretty out of the box question. But if your art was a candle, what scent would it be?
That's such a specific question, but I like it because there's actually a candle that I buy at Target, and it's called Moonlight. And I love that. Anything, I guess I should have mentioned this earlier because I'm also pretty into this with my husband, but anything astronomy, space related type stuff like that, super into. So, things like stargazing, moonlight, I think that's probably what my art would be. Either that or like some natural sense of like sage or
Mm,
eucalyptus or cedar wood or stuff like that.
okay, there you go. That's a hard one. I wouldn't be able to answer. You had it nicely.
Thank you.
We got the other one from this guy. I just met him. Notorious Pez. Oh, Pez. Notorious
Okay.
Pez. There you go. There we go. He says, I know you study lots of great artists. What is something you look for when accounting or scouting talent?
Um, Biggest thing I look for, honestly, is are you traditional or are you a digital artist? Not that I don't follow digital artists, I do, but right now I'm really on the path of the traditional route, so I want to take the time to look for traditional artists. But um, I would say I look for proportion. How do their proportions look? Because that's something that I feel like a lot of artists struggle with, and I just always want to continue to improve. And then I look for blending styles on how they color their piece. Are they a cell shading person, or do they actually like fully blend out their pieces and have gradient tones and stuff like that? I prefer to look at more blended and gradient things. But I do think that there's a lot of value in learning why cell shading works if you know how to do it
Mm-hmm.
properly. So, and then the last thing that I like to look for is perspective. Um, what kind of perspectives are you drawing in? What kind of point of views are you wanting us to look for at your characters?
All right. Great answer. Great answer. Let's see. We got the Toner 30, T Toner. What is your favorite color you use to draw for markers?
So, favorite color or color that I use the most? Favorite color is probably, oof, I've got this orange caramel Copic.
Oh,
I like
nice.
that. It's a nice shade. It's a nice color.
Orange caramel. Huh.
The
Now you're making
oranges
me
and
hungry.
Copics are pretty nice.
Sweet, sweet. And last question for me. What personal piece is your favorite?
Oh man, that's a tough one. So it's probably Cora, and it's probably between two. It's either the Cora that I most recently did, um, pretty basic Cora, or
Mm-hmm.
it's the Cora that I painted, the really big painting that I'm trying to sell. Probably one of those two pieces. Um, the big painting, I was just first time I had picked up acrylic paint in years because I used to only do acrylics and then I got into the color pencil and marker world, so stopped painting. And then I picked up painting for the first time in probably like a year and was really happy with just how she turned out and um, just my ability to take what I knew learning Copics and apply it to acrylic paint. So it was pretty exciting. But also this most recent Cora, just because when you go through, and I've, you know, talked a little bit about this in posts and my story and stuff like that. But I do deal with a little bit of mental health situations with anxiety and depression. And sometimes when you go through these little phases of not wanting to draw, not wanting to produce anything, not wanting to be creative because you just mentally don't really have the energy to put into it, you start to kind of feel like, oh man, I'm not producing anything. That makes me feel even worse. But then I have this sometimes anxiety that when I go to sit down after a period of time like that, because I'm like, well, what if I produce right now isn't good enough? Well, I sat down and I put my head down and I produced her anyway because I'm like, well, I won't know if I don't try. And she turned out really well. And I know she's super basic and super simple, but I was just happy to do something after 5 days of being not interested or motivated. Um, and so I think those pieces of when I go through my little dips of having no energy or desire or interest in it, those are going to be the pieces that resonate with me the most. And those are the pieces that I want to share with people the most so that other people who might be in the same position as me can go, yeah, like it does get better. Like it does get easier.
Word. No, and I say be proud and be confident in your work, Alyssa. You're on the right track. Definitely a lot of progress. I personally love what I'm looking at. So, and I think everybody else should as well. You know what I mean? So that's why y'all should follow Shades of Alyssa here and damn TikTok as well. You know what I'm saying? Give
Yes,
her a
thank you so
follow.
much.
And yeah, if we don't have any more questions, let's close out this show. Let me make sure we don't have anything else. Yep, we went through everything. And Alyssa, I think that's it. We're gonna come to a closing. Any last words or shout outs you want to mention? Anybody else or?
Yeah, I just would love to give some shout outs to some people that just have been supporting my art journey, like my husband, my parents, and then of course some of my mentors like Ivan and Pez and Josh. All of those guys have been helping me out since I've kind of joined this program and really appreciated your support. And then anybody who's shown me kind of love, like you and Benson and all them. So thank you guys for helping kind of a newbie artist, get into this world and feel eager and ready to take it on.
No, it's great. I think one of the things, one of the main, what's the word I'm looking for? One of the main characteristics in artists, especially those who are going to go out there, I think it all starts here. It's a mentality that you have to have, where it's like, okay, you need to persevere, you need to keep going at it. You know what I mean? And
Definitely.
we're all human. We all face bumps on the road, and it's okay to step back, but don't step back for years. You know what I mean? Don't don't
Right, yeah.
don't take those long procrastination periods because, um, yeah, it's definitely a killer. That's the number one killer for artists. But you got the right mindset for it, Alyssa, and I see you going places. So there
I
you go.
thank you. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me.
Word, word. And there it is, guys. Episode number 97. As we reach the 100, coming around the corner, we got Shades of Alyssa to close out 97. So, once again, make sure you guys are following her here on the gram. And, of course, hit up that TikTok, Shades of Alyssa, one word. Alyssa, Alyssa, for you guys that don't know how to spell. Uh, And listen, man, it's been great, man. Thank you very, very much, and appreciate your time. And your artwork is fantastic. So
Well, thank you so
keep
much for
grinding.
having me on. I've been honored to be on. It was a good time, man. Good hanging out.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you very much. And that's it, y'all. Make sure you keep checking us out. Check out Chatting with Zim. You guys could definitely find that on the YouTubes. We got Art by Beauty Art is the last one, my last guest, and before that was Mr. Ice Creams. They're both up there on the archive, so check those out. Put it in the background while you draw. Also, check out therealsinzimba.com. I just reopened up the store again, so it's full blast again. So there you guys go for all your arts, prints, stickers, and some merch that I got on there. Also hit up Live with 7. Don't forget about him. That's live_with 7, number 7. And hit up Monsters Art Clan here on the gram as well. I don't know if I'm forgetting anybody else, but if I do, you guys didn't pay me enough. And that's it. Let's close it out. Guys, love one each another. Something like that is what I say. Make sure you guys keep creating, and above all, trust the process. Alyssa, any closing words? Take us out of here.
Yep. No, yeah. Be kind, be safe, be smart, man.
There it is. That's it, guys. Thanks, Alyssa. I'll hit you up after I post here. And that's it, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Laters. And next week, guys, really quick, we got Tips World and Danomite. So come back next Sunday. Peace out, y'all. We're out of here.